So let me just start from this movement and body awareness. We thought we
so what I was basically trying to communicate to you is that you had started exploring THT as a whole in the THT lab. Okay.
Yes.
Now that is the whole approach, the whole thing.
Yes.
Now from there we have to take out segments if we want to specialize, or rather if we want to really apply specifically to either one individual or to one area of work, or to one set of individuals. We'll have to cull out from that big thing, that big spectrum that we have, and we have to focus on that and go deeper into that for better understanding.
Yes.
So that is how you have moved from the understanding of the whole first, which is very important to understand that this is what it is, to one particular segment of it, which is movement and body awareness.
Yes.
Okay.
And the choice of segment, because movement values when the parents are very small child, they're not really thinking about that as much. But movement and body awareness has a broad appeal.
Depends on the individual.
Yes. But this has broad appeal.
Yes. That is okay. That is okay. There will be some which are basic level, which will be applicable to all the all the levels of learning. There'll be some which are specific, but both are required.
Yes,
both are required. So, but only thing is, with our limited time and our limited resources, we are saying that for this particular set of days, we are going to, like for example, we take one lesson plan in THT, which is going to focus only on communicating 4 English words. That's all the lesson plan is about, let us say.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Now that lesson plan alone, we apply 6 times at least minimally, right?
Yes.
For them to, first go from the stage of understanding to comprehending the lesson plan to the stage of mastery.
Yes.
So it takes them through so many stages. It has to be generalized also at one stage, right?
Yes.
So it has to be applied many times. So this is just one goal, and life means many goals.
Yes.
Okay. So there are 2 ways of doing. One is you can start off with one area, just this movement and body awareness, which is relevant for more number of people which you feel.
Yes.
And simultaneously, otherwise, you can look at something which is very, very individual specific. Okay.
Yes.
Just for Anand. And they realize that this is not just for Anand.
Yes, that both have happened. Yes. Actually, at that point is also some interesting lesson from the first THT project. So one thing that was very interesting for me was that when we started doing these videos with Anand has learned Bharatanatyam for quite some time, and he's a more experienced student. But it was an eye-opening moment when I saw that Anand just doing an Adavu with Ujjwal, and we are sharing it. And parents of a very young child who has never tried Bharatanatyam, they're actually able to try it. So we thought that's an interesting thing. So that got me in the direction of, that is one thing that motivated me to go in the direction of, let's just capture, we are getting a lot of learning is happening. So let us capture that in a way that others can use. So we had this data capture. The Pada Veda video is a hit, because what I did with the Pada Vedas, I took the Pada Veda, but I had also done relationship development intervention. So I had a bunch of games like Simon Says, I have lost my voice, do as I do, not as I say. Like that, I had 3-4 games.
All these are typical THT activities.
So I combined the Pada Veda, the video, and those games, and that has done very well. So what we thought was, let us do some more. Now we are doing the jumps, we are doing, and all of these are short videos. So that's the other lesson we learned. When we share these short videos, it's more engaging.
It'll engage better.
And also we are going by goal. See, if you just say, I'm going to teach you Pada Veda, what is that? And why I don't want to learn Bharatanatyam, right? But we are framing it as a body awareness activity. That is, we are doing Pada Veda to become aware of foot movements and foot positions. We are doing certain other Vedas for shoulders, or Drishti Veda for eyes, or something like that. And then parents are interested. They're actually trying to do these things. And I also tell them...
Independently, Rama, my question was, how have you documented 100-day THD lab other than your Facebook posts?
So far, primarily the Facebook posts, but I can synthesize and
We should
summarize.
try to we should
Yes.
try to put this 100-day lab as to into one capsule.
Yes.
Or THD lab into one capsule. And like that, we have to have separate capsules. So anybody can pick up anything.
Yes.
And take it forward from there. That is my thought, basically.
Yes. So what is also happening
you should have, see, you already have a couple of libraries. Okay. Couple of books in your library. You're creating a whole library, let's say. You've already got a couple of books. Books means not, I'm talking about books as material. Okay. So how are you going to document that? So, because you're going on creating more. So I was just thinking, she's going on creating more and more and more and more. But how is she able to fall back on the earlier ones? This was my question, actually.
Actually, this one is getting documented really well because
because you've already done one and you know how to do this.
Yes, and we kind of
you should try to do that also in a similar manner.
So this one, because we have the lessons from the previous one. So at that time, the Anand's video channel was not there. See, that happened. That suddenly started. His stress. So a lot of things just happened which we didn't see.
Correct.
When he said the White Peacock story, we didn't anticipate it was going to become a YouTube channel, but it did. And once the YouTube channel was there, then quite naturally the lessons he was doing started going there. So that has sort of organically grown. One couldn't really have planned for it. It just happened. And things which we were trying for him, we were saying that if this big Zoom session recording is there, he's not able to practice. So we started developing this process of documenting and really paid a lot of attention to documenting it for his practice. That is paying off because now that's why we have a library of small snippets which we are able to utilize. So that is partly why this has happened. So we have these 4. We have this body awareness, which is the Pada Beda. Then we had the body positions. Then this one, basically the Adavas. And then we have the learning concepts. We have the animal song, tree song, all of that. And then these are the stories that Anand has been telling. And I'm going to narrate something about, I'm getting a structure now. So I'm telling the parents actually much clearer instructions on how they can go to the 100-day project. So I'm telling them, 1, you can just simply, every day I'm sharing a small snippet of a video and giving them some tips. So one time it might be games. Sometime it might be, why you might do that activity. I might talk about enjoyment. I might link it to Abhinaya, something or the other. So daily
whatever you're inspired for that moment.
Yes. So every week there is a video that I am sharing also. So it is all getting documented. And then, for example, this week we thought we'll do Ganesha with the festivals. So I'm also linking it to the life goals. So we have the specific body awareness goals, but I am saying that the 4 life goals are overarching. You always want to do something to keep them learning. You have to consider their interests, because I may be doing something with Anand. You may not exactly do the same thing. You'll have to go by what interests your child and how you're going to engage them. Family interaction. So I keep saying this. It's about enjoyment. We are not trying to make them Bharatanatyam experts with these little clips. We are just trying to, create little activities for you to do with your child and enjoy with your child. And then, the engagement with community. So the festivals is a great sort of point in time to start, because we can talk about how, festivals naturally provide a way for engaging the community. And if you're in the arts, so Anant is, for example, performing the Ganesha Stuti tomorrow, and it's all part of this celebration, process. So each week will have a theme. So celebrating festivals is this week's theme. Next week might be family interactions, parent and child having fun together, things like that. So this is a person I met, the special Sati where Anand did his presentation. They have the program called Creative Sati, so the different artists. And Morpheus does a lot of very detailed, he's also a neurodivergent, very detailed drawing and painting. So we're paying some money to encourage him also, and roped him into this project. So he's doing, it has the site and all looks better if you have some pictures. So here's another. So he's done this. He's also done.
He's done this Ganesha?
Yeah, he did the Ganesha.
Very nice. What's his name?
Morpheus Nag. So he did a lot of the pictures for my blog and Anand's blog. That's how we got to know him. So so he did this one. Then he's done this one. So we'll for the family next week. I'm going to use this next week.
Very nice.
So he's very good at this detailed drawing. And so we're going to, we roped him in, and I thought he
very
gets
nice.
a little encouragement, and our thing looks, better visually. So
where is he? In Bangalore, is it?
He's in Chandigarh.
Chandigarh.
So that's a new addition to our team. So all this just kind of is coming together.
Nice.
So I think we are beginning to make progress. So I think one of the key pieces of documentation is, in a number of ways, it's that first 100-day project that set the stage for this to happen. Because just in terms of, how he started learning, what he started exploring with Ujjwal, because otherwise it might have been a just traditional Bharatanatyam class. But because of the 100-day project that went off, in its own path it went. So it is, and which has been actually very good for him, because I think it's given him a more variety of, learning experiences. And I think it's developed in a good way, and it's creating something
so it's going good. Very nice.
So that's what that was. So I just thought at least if we take a look at this video together, and then I have some basic things for the 100 days. So I've actually articulated things like this. I call it the 1-10-100 rule. So I tell parents, choose at least one activity that will work towards body and awareness and movement. Commit to 10 minutes a day for 100 days. So you have to really make it very, sort of precise. And many of them are actually, sharing now, they share what they're doing. And, that has, I think that process is going well. But I think it's experimentation, right? You do the 100-day lab once, then you get an idea of what it takes to run it in the community. So now we are getting that idea. But I think one of the big takeaways for me is, for something like TAHD, this 100-day project really works well, because, you kind of have to be in their face every day, very patiently, but not too much, right? So the small video clips help. So I tell them, look, Anant is doing Bharatanatyam, so we are sharing Bharatanatyam. You don't have to do Bharatanatyam. But if we share a video on Pada Beda, you may do something else with the feet. I don't know. Or if we share one tree song, you may do something else. But at least we are, based on our experiences, we're sharing some ideas with you. So that freedom also they have to have. They don't have to feel like, oh, I must learn Bharatanatyam. No, if you want to do it, do it. If you want to do something else, fine. So actually, if you see my first video, I've mapped all these out. That if you're doing the 100-day project, you may simply just follow along, watch the videos and my daily shares. That could be your step one. Somewhere along the way, you may be inspired to do your own 100-day project. That's good.
Okay.
You may just watch what we are doing and just do something of your own. So all of that is happening. Some people are actually, one of my friends is completely just, she does other things like walking, other kinds of exercises. But she's, her son is older. He's just a few years younger than Anand. So they're actually doing the peacock story.
What is Anand saying exactly?
What?
How old is Anand exactly?
Anand is 25, going to turn 26 in December.
26, 25, 26. And this boy is also the same age.
He's 22, 23. So we are seeing many personas. Actually, see, this is the other thing I want to document as this emerges. So she is actually using it almost like a curriculum, the video. So she's, her son is trying the Pada Beda, is trying the peacock. He's watching Anant and she's also telling him the story. He's going into the storytelling also. There's another very, very articulate parent, and he has a 5-year-old. This 5-year-old fell in love with the tree song. Keeps on watching the tree song. So it is interesting once you put videos like that, but just videos don't do. So this is the other thing we learned, just videos won't do. So this was another lesson from the 100-day, because in the beginning we were sharing the video. Over a period of time, I started giving more and more explanation and guidance. So even things like watch Ujjwal and Anand, you see how he's imitating, like you have to make it very explicit. So now I actually have that language also. I talk about imitate, repeat, memorize, and improvise. So that's the process I talk about. Then people will ask me, oh, for the storytelling, how many times did he repeat before he did the story? So I'm like, okay, they really want that level of detail. And that is when it clicks for them. So then my friend said, oh, okay, I'm going to try and do this for a month. So I said, this was in the beginning. He was taking, first 2 stories, he did like about a month. Now it's going faster because he's sort of got the process.